Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Hairy Sheep podcast. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back, and if you're a new viewer, welcome.
Hello. It's Emma from the Hairy Sheep podcast and Rosie from the Hairy Sheep podcast. Rosie is my youngest child, she's my little girl. You can find us as the Hairy Sheep on Facebook, on Instagram, and here on YouTube. We are quite easy contactable. On Facebook, my name is Emma Jean Barwell. I'm quite often around and about the place. I'm fairly easy contactable. And I don't think we are anywhere else, are we, Rosie? No. Right, what do? We knit, we
Crochet.
We sew. What else do we do?
Spin.
We do spin, only a little bit and beginning, but we do spin. We make clothes on the sewing machine. We make a mess. That's what we're quite good at. We're very good at starting things. It's nice to be back. We've had a lot of positive feedback on the first episode, so if you have joined us again, we are very pleased that you've joined us. First into it, we have our finished objects, and we have 2 this week. Our first one is
Mum's Bible hat. It's raw and pure wool, and they're both grey, but we dyed the blue one.
No. The pattern's available on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. It's stranded colour work, but it's a very, very easy stranded colour work. There's only 2 colours in a row at the time, and the yarn we dyed, the blue, we dyed it with food colouring. It was really easy actually. If you want to give it a go, give it a quick go. Have a look on YouTube. There's tons of tutorials. Although, if you looked at Instagram earlier, you may have seen I've nearly lost my Bible hat already. Somebody's taken a liking to it. Go and have a look. The other finished object we've got is a cowl. It is a house points cowl by the very lovely Laura from the Lonely Knitter podcast. Looks like I've lost my hat again. They're going to be arguing over it. I best get knitting. It's a really lovely, really easy to follow design. It will be as soon as available on Ravelry, but not by us, by Laura of the Lonely Knitter. Go and have a look. It's a brilliant pattern. Although at the minute it's still a little bit damp because it hadn't quite finished blocking, and I grabbed it off the blocking mats just so we could show you it. We've knitted it out of some wool we had in our stash, which is an Adria fill. It's a pure wool, a pure merino. It's only taken 100 grams, if that really. It would be lovely in something hand-dyed, in a double knit. This yarn is the official speed knitting yarn. I don't know if you can see that on there. It's the official speed knitting yarn, and it's an Italian one. It's just really nice. So we haven't really done a lot of anything else knitting wise. They're the only finished objects we've got, mainly because I was trying to speed through this to get the feedback back for Laura. And the Bible hat I completed within a couple of days, which actually, Rosie, really suits you. So now we've finished our finished objects, onto whips. Rosie?
The corner blanket. this is how we've worked on our week.
There's some really nice colours. There's orange at the bottom, there's red further up, there's a purple. Some really lovely shades.
And I put a new stitch marker on it from last time.
I'll hold that so your stitch doesn't drop out. This is a stitch marker that Rosie made. She's made it with clay, a llama, and I think she's done a really good job. So that's how far you've got with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rosie likes to crochet when we're out and about places, when we go visiting. She likes to crochet when she's in the car, when we're on our way to school. She crochets in the car when we're going anywhere else. She's always busy. So what else have we done? I've done nothing on Harley. If you remember last week, the Harley pattern, I've done absolutely nothing on that. I haven't even taken it out of his box. I haven't looked at it. I've just done nothing with it, but I've been busy with the House Points cowl and the barbel. I've also done nothing on the Rainer. I moved my progress marker last week. My little slice of pizza. That's another one that we've made. We haven't made the charm on that one. We've bought the charm, but we've made it into a stitch marker. The Rainer is a free pattern again on Ravelry. It's ever such an easy pattern to knit. The yarn is one that we've dyed ourselves. It's a 75% merino, 25% nylon sock based yarn, and again dyed with food colouring. It's just really easy, but I've done nothing on it. Next week maybe. I've been working on a new idea. I'd seen a photograph of a bag, and the bag was a shop bought bag that I really liked. I don't have a photograph of it to show you, but it involves making quite a few little squares. I need 24 in total, and the little squares I've been making are like that. So a basic solid granny square, and I need 24 of them. Once I've got it written up and put together, I will put it onto Ravelry as a free pattern, because there's nothing complicated to it, but the notes are there then for the people that want to use it. The yarn is a pure wool. It's Schackenmeyer Wash and Filts Fine. It's the multicolour, and it's one that I've had in my stash for 5 years maybe. It's a lovely wool, really nice colours, and it is one that will felt if I wash it, which, depending on what the bag looks like, once I've put it all together, I might felt it and just, well, I hope I do prefer it if I felt it, because there's no going back. I had 5 balls of that, and I've got 11 squares out of the 24 made. That's my 12th square, and that's my second ball of yarn. So I think about 400 grams, about 200 grams, sorry, about 4 balls, 50 grams each, and then a yarn to edge it with. That's about all I've achieved this week. I've been busy.
Mum's been
at work, I've been busy with children, but I've also been busy, Rosie, what with?
Making her socks. And we reset the progress marker last week
With another stitch marker we've made.
It's a
burger. That should be. That sounded rude, Rosie.
It's a vanilla toe-up pattern with a Turkish cast on and a fish lips kiss heel.
Which is a pattern available on Ravelry. It's only £1, the fish lips kiss heel pattern, and it's well worth the money.
It's a superb soupy doopy wool, and it's living in Mum's sock bag.
It's living in my sock bag that my beautiful friend Michelle bought me because she's lovely.
We've not bought any wool, but we've bought some sock blockers.
We have bought some sock blockers. They were a few pounds each off eBay and arrived within a few days. And actually just lovely. They are just lovely quality.
Sheep. And we bought some Symphony 4mm tips that are circular, but they're really small.
They're the shorter version of the needle instead of the longer version, just because I didn't have any and I really did need some sooner rather than later. There's a few projects that I need them for, so I got them ordered and they arrived. We have been busy this last couple of weeks making a few little charms to go on stitch markers, and Rosie's going to show you a few now and talk you through them.
This one is a Lego brick. This one is a chocolate bar. This one is a lollipop. This one is a fried egg. This one is a little sheep. This one is a banana. This one is a flower. This one is a snowman. This one is a birdhouse. This one is a sun. This one is a pig. This is just a mixture of some colours. And so is this one. And then we've got a chocolate cake. And we've got a ball of wool. And we've got an egg.
So in the next few days we will get those onto stitch markers. So if anybody has any requests or would like something making by ourselves, give us a shout or leave us a comment, because we might just make it and send it to you in the post. We've been watching some podcasts this week. Of course, I'm under strict instructions to not watch any podcasts until Rosie is there, so she can watch them with me. We've been watching
Laura from The Lonely Knitter.
We've been watching Katie over at Geordie Knits.
We've been watching Amy from Stranded.
And we've been watching Sharon as well from SCR1TNO. They all have really good podcasts. They are all incredibly funny and just genuinely nice people. We are looking forward to meeting a few of them in the future. On the Sunday the 14th of April, we are going to
Spring into Wool.
We are. It's a fibre festival over in Leeds, which is only about an hour away from where we are. we've managed to gain a chauffeur for the day. We do have one space left in the car travelling from Scunthorpe, so if anybody from Scunthorpe would like a lift, the details are on the Spring Into Wool website as well. They do a car sharing scheme and they encourage people to go in the same car. We have one place left in the car, but I will warn you, somebody certainly doesn't know how to stop talking. We are looking forward to going in April because there's a few people that we would like to go and see on their stalls. They are...
There's Rosie's Moment, who we've already bought some wool from. There's All Wool That Ends. Wool. And the Strawberry Fields Yarns.
They are really, really good dyers. And although Rosie's Moments isn't our Rosie, she's still a Rosie and it's lovely. She does some really, really nice yarns. This one's called Anemone, and I think it's one of her previous colourways. But it's just lovely, although it has fluff on it. It's just really, really nice colours. And it's super, super soft. It comes with a little bag of lavender, which I like the smell of, but Rosie's not so keen on. This one is Super Kid Mohair. Are you moving, Rosie? So if anybody sees us there and wants to come over and say hello, we'd be delighted to meet you. If we see anybody, we will jump and shout and say, hello, we know you. We will come over and speak. Rosie will probably come over and speak. I'll probably be terrified. Depending on how warm it is, Rosie may have that hat on. Since she seems to have claimed it a little bit. We have, not so much this week, but previously, been learning to spin on a drop spindle. We wish we had room for a proper spinning wheel at home, but unfortunately in the corner of our front room we have a drum kit. We don't have a huge amount of space for anything else. I'm well aware our spinning needs a little bit more work on it, but it will get there. What we're spinning with is a drop spindle from Spin City.
We also got this braid from Spin City.
It's looking a little bit worse for wear because it lives in a little bowl in the front room. The bowl it lives in is this bowl here, which is a hand-painted bowl. It was hand-painted in a ceramics class by my grandmother, who was a very creative lady. I was brought up by a few very creative ladies, and because it's such a special bowl, it keeps our special spinning in it. This is spinning that me and Rosie are doing between ourselves. If anybody has any tips or hints or anything, please, please, please tell us, because we have a few things that we'd like to spin the yarn for.
And this is some previous spinning we've done.
That was our first ever attempt.
Now I like it thick and Mum likes it thin.
So we need to learn to ply it, and then we can ply some thicker yarns as well, especially for Rosie. Rosie likes to be speed knitting if she can. She likes to get a jumper finish in a weekend. She doesn't like to be hanging around with 4-ply and things like that. So we will also be on the lookout for spinning fibres when we go to Spring Into Wool. So we're hoping there's a few there that we like. Maybe pink for Rosie.
No.
I am wearing my flax, which is a top-down seamless sweater from tin can knits over on Ravelry. I knitted it as part of the flax along held by Geordie Knits over on Ravelry, Instagram and Facebook. She has a really good Facebook group called the Flax Along 19. The Flax Along ends at the end of March, and we have a new colour stranded knitting starting either, I think it's in May. I'm sure it's the 1st of May it starts. Katie, correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to add the link underneath the video. What else have we got to say, Rosie? What else have we been doing this week? We've been busy. You've had a couple of days at your dad's house, haven't you?
Yeah.
I've been at work continually, in between knitting and visiting and everything else that goes along with things. I've not dyed any wool this week, although I have balled a couple of skeins that we've dyed previously, ready for future casts on. So hopefully, watch this space, you might see some more over the next week or so. I've been finding projects like my barbel hat, ready to knit, ready for this stranded colour work knit along. I do like a knit along because everybody is so supportive going through things like that. I've not really got any other projects lined up. I need to do a lot more on my Harley, and I need to do a lot more on my bag and on the Rainer. Have we got anything planned for next week, Rosie?
I don't think so.
I don't think we have anything planned really. We might sneak in a bit of wool shopping somewhere. You never know. You never know. If we can. If we can. Although, to be fair, the last time I went to buy wool from the shop that shall not be named. The big one that starts with an A that was causing all kinds of controversy over on Facebook. And I got in there thinking I'll just have a quick look in and just see what they've got. Thinking I'll not really be buying anything. And my car broke down in the car park. And we had to be rescued from the car park just before the school run. And of course, all over the back seat of the car was balls of wool. I couldn't really hide that one. Not that I do hide them, I don't need to. But you don't necessarily want to tell them everything all the time. So we would, as we're coming to an end of this one, we would like to say thank you to everybody who supported us, given us feedback, given us pointers for things. We would like to say thank you to everybody who's supported us, who's clicked subscribe. We'd like to say thank you to everybody who's left comments, especially about Rosie, because Rosie has been very shy about doing things, but I think she's done fantastic. We'd like to say thank you very, very much. And we've also got a very special shout out for one more person. Rosie?
This is a special shout out for a young girl called Alyssa. She's been a fan of our podcast from day one. And let us know what you are making.
So hello Alyssa. We hope you're well. We hope you've had a good day at school today. Keep up the knitting and the crochet. Show us what you're making. Get your mum to post it in the Flax Along group, because me and Rosie both go in there. Rosie using my Facebook to do so. We're looking forward to seeing what you're making. And tell your mum to take you to Spring Into Wool. Tell her that you'd really, really, really like to go, but only on the Sunday. That's when we're going. So, thank you everybody, and good night.